Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Colonel's Corner. Joining us today is Wilkes swimming head coach Chris Paynter to preview the 2024-25 season. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So we're a couple days away from the beginning of the season, first tri-meet of the year. What's the excitement level like around the team?
You know, I'd say the excitement level is pretty high. We've had a great couple of weeks of training leading up to this meet, and we have a big group of first year, so everyone's kind of just getting really excited to go, and it's been a long time coming to get into that first meet.
So speaking of that, you have 9 first-year swimmers across the men's and women's teams. What are your expectations for them in their first year of collegiate swimming?
You know, it's just kind of getting them adjusted to what college swimming is kind of like at the beginning, getting them used to the training, getting them used to just the expectations that we have on deck and at practice. So they've been coming along really well, and I know they're excited to finally start competing, and so are we. So it should be some pretty high expectations for them, not just from myself, but I know they have high expectations for themselves too.
And for returners, you have 3 on the men's team, 2 on the women's team. What are your expectations for them?
You know, those returners, they got to experience some final swims last year at conferences, so I know they're either looking to make it back to those final spots or move up from a B final to an A final, or even some end up medaling at that conference meet. So, again, I know I have high expectations for them, but they also are coming in and looking to move up in that conference meet and do pretty well this year.
Speaking of the conference meet, it was the first time you competed in the Landmark Conference Finals. What lessons are you taking from that trip into this year to carry throughout the year?
Hey, you know, so those conference meets, it's a 4-day meet, 3.5 days. So it's just really trying to figure out how to keep the energy high throughout those 3.5 days. Make sure everyone's kind of ready to go and we're not dying into that Sunday session. So a lot of lessons to take from last year's meet is just figuring out how to keep energy high, keep the momentum rolling, and then roll into that last day and really have a good showing. And
talk a little bit about the schedule this year and how it sets you up for another trip to the Landmark Conference.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of Landmark meets this year, so getting to see that competition early, kind of see where we stack up in the conference before we get to that meet. And so starting off this weekend, we've got Marywood and Kings. I know both those teams have done really well recruiting-wise, so it should be an awesome meet to start the year, just to see what they've brought in and stack it up against what we've brought in. And then as we go throughout the season, we'll be at our mid-season meet late November, and that'll kind of be our first big test for the team. See where we're at training-wise, see where we're at just competition and speed-wise, and then carry on from there and keep building into that Landmark Conference meet.
As you mentioned, Chris, the season starts this Saturday, October 12th at Marywood against the Pacers and Kings College at 11 a.m. Coach, thank you so much for stopping by, and best of luck this season.
Thanks so much.